Welcome to the Prophecy Club, and may you have a happy 2025. May 2025 be the best year of your life, far better than it was in 24 or any of the previous years. May you be blessed when you come in and blessed when you go out. May you be the head and not the tail, the lender and not the borrower. And there's other blessings of Leviticus 26 and also Deuteronomy 28 that I pray upon you in Jesus' name. Okay, so our topic today is Louisiana, Nevada. Is this the start or the end of trouble? Now, let me start with this. Did prophecies warn us? These are the questions we're going to ask today. Did prophecies warn us of the events in Louisiana and Nevada? 2, can we expect to see more of such? And 3, is the internal revolution about to start? And I've got some good reasons why I say that. First of all, in general, this is my opinion, but I believe it to be correct. Almost all other voices, I'm talking about other people on the internet and even radio and TV, almost all of the voices use man's source, news, internet, and insiders. Prophecy Club, however, is different. We try to use God's prophets and holy servants of God as confirmed in the mouth of 2 or 3 or more in most cases. Since most Americans are not too close to God and don't read their Bible and don't pray or work at building a church, I didn't just say attend a church. You can attend a church and do nothing. But if you help build the church, that's good. They only accept secular sources, not just attend a church, but are actively working to build God's kingdom through that church. Most don't believe God can talk, and if he did, they wouldn't know his voice, even if it did. The rest don't believe in Jesus. At best, they believe in some other pagan god. Now, here's my point. This gives those who believe in God, us, okay, and his ability to communicate the advantage of knowing the correct future. In other words, we know what to keep, what to discard, what to believe, what to throw away. And today, we're going to be talking about that. So the first question is, did prophecies warn of the events of Louisiana and Nevada? Did they warn of that? So October the 4th of 2012, Prophet John Paul Jackson was given a series of 30 newspaper headlines. This is one of them. He was told, New Year's terror, out with the new, in with the old. Well, this is yesterday's headline. I'm making this on the 2nd. And this is from Michael Snyder, a good friend of mine. And he says, in with the old, out with the new, 10 questions we should all be asking about the New Year's Day terror attacks. Would you say he got it? Would you say that's correct? Even though it's not worded exactly. I mean, like Leslie was given the newspaper headline, Omar ushers in Palestinian state, Israel refuses help to America. It may be that those were, I'm going to say I think he got it. And I have not emailed Michael to say you were not copying him, because I think he already, my guess is he's probably never even heard of John Paul Jackson, much less that he gave these 30 newspaper headlines way back in 2012, 13 years ago. Now, here's another one I think is important before we get away from him. Again, October 4th, 2012. Decay in America is the infrastructure of America beyond repair. That's the subheadline, is the infrastructure in America beyond repair. Now, back in 1999, we wouldn't have thought that would ever come. But now we're saying, maybe so. Washington, D.C. riots continue. We haven't seen that yet, at least not real bad, but apparently it's coming. Chicago up in arms, death toll mounts. Now, there's practically a war in Chicago already, but apparently it's going to get even worse. Record set for a number of cities with riot curfews. We've not really seen riot curfews, and if we have, it's just been sporadic, and then it was several years ago. Martial law to be extended for 30 more days. We haven't seen martial law. City tunnels closed after bomb. We haven't seen that. Yes, I mean, there's been bombs, but not in city tunnels. New Year's terror, that's the one we talked about today. And then look at this. NFL postpones all games until answer found. I think it's interesting that, again, I'm recording this Thursday afternoon at 12:14, and they have suspended the Sugar Bowl for 24 hours. They delayed the start of it for 24 hours. Why? Because of this explosion in New Orleans. So that's kind of getting close, isn't it? There's one more page. Let me show you something else. Food. Now, he has a lot of prophecies, but this is just all I'm going to cover today. Food. Blight and grains spreading. Okay, so, Jesus started America. Jesus is the one that's lifted it up and provided for it. And sad to say, not Donald Trump. Donald Trump's not going to fix it. Only if we stop sinning, repent, and turn to Jesus. That's the only thing that's going to fix it. And 6 chapters in the Bible says that's not going to happen. So, can we expect a blight to come to grains? Count on it. Record high temps accompany record drought swept south. Count on it. Drought. Demand for classic seeds skyrockets. Food prices lead nations escalating inflation woes. Well, we've already got inflation right now biting more than just woes. We've got a pretty good inflation. Cisco Kraft considers guards on the delivery trucks as food nears 40% of the family budget. Now, I think it was Jason Meeks said that he saw that they were having to put armed guards on the delivery trucks, and they were having to use like the brown trucks, I'll say it that way, to deliver food and also gasoline because there was so much robbing going on of them. Final one, drought continues to cause prayer to rise, which of course is what we need. Now, let's go on. Again, I would recommend you go to josephkitchen.com because most of your long-term storage food, you're talking go check it, $9,000-$10,000 to feed one person for 1 year. Let me say it again. $9,000 to $10,000 to feed one person for 1 year. But at Joseph's Kitchen, they can show you how to feed one person for 1 year for about $1,000. Now, what you want to do when you go there, see the bottom left where it says starter package? You get yourself a starter package if you're just one person, if you just need a little food. But where most people are going to start, position number 2, machine package. That's the things to grind the berries into flour. Then you put it into a bread machine, and then you add 6 ingredients, push a button, 2 hours and 40 minutes later, you have a nice, hot, steaming loaf of whole wheat bread, which is what I had for lunch. And I'm going to have another slice just before I go play racquetball here in another couple hours. Anyway, then you decide how much food you want. You want food one person 1 year, 2 people a year, 4 people a year. Go to josephkitchen.com, and I suggest you get more than what you need because you're probably not going to be able to beat their prices. Joseph's, with an S, josephskitchen.com. All right, back to our question. Did prophecies warn of the events like Louisiana and Nevada? I think they did. Now, look carefully at this. Now, I've quoted this to you many times, but I'm going to show you something. So Dimitri was told by Gabriel, August the 3rd of 1984 when he visited him. The fall of America will start with an internal revolution. That's one of our questions. I'm going to get to it. Is the internal revolution about to start? The fall of America will start with an internal revolution in America started by the communists. Now, here's the point I want to start with. Some of the people will start fighting against the government. The government will be busy with internal problems. What's that saying? It's saying that this is how the internal revolution starts. So the fall of America starts with an internal revolution, and then the angel starts to back up and say, so this is what you look for just before the revolution starts. Some of the people will start fighting against the government. I think Louisiana and Las Vegas, and also here there's now been another incident up in New York, but I haven't checked it out yet. I mean, I think there's a lot more coming. Some of the people will start fighting against the government. All of those 20 million people that has come over the border in the last 4 years. Reports were given that they were given encrypted cell phones and basically told where and when to show up. We will train you. We will equip you. We'll give you the bombs or the whatever, the bullets, whatever you're going to use to attack and destroy America. So what we can look for is some of the people will start fighting against the government. The point of this program is, has it started or is it just ending? I'm going to say I think that the problems leading to the internal revolution have started. And these are probably the start of them, but I don't think they're the end of them. I think we're going to start seeing a lot more of this. And my guess, I said guess, God has not told me when the suitcase nukes go off. What he has told me is two words. He said massive arrests, massive arrest, massive arrest, massive arrests. To me, that tells me that there is an internal revolution coming, that there is suitcase nukes coming. And then I heard medical. That tells me suitcase nukes. So I think, while he didn't tell me exactly, I think it's indicating, yeah, suitcases are coming, massive arrests are coming, suitcase nukes are coming, massive arrests are coming. All right, now, I've read this many times, so I'm just let you pause and read it if you want to. There's more, the rest of the prophecy. But let me go on to the next question. So can we expect to see more of what just happened with the car bomb blowing up and the people, the guy went running over people, 15 people killed, 16 people, including the guy. Anyway, are we going to see more of that? This is part of a prophecy given to Jason Meeks. Now, the part I want you to notice is this, that the massive arrests, first thing he saw was a change in the currency. I'll read the whole thing here in just a second. A change in currency, massive arrests, and then DJ assuming control. Now, look at those words, assuming control. Why didn't it say that DJT is inaugurated? Is this saying that there's some plot to see that he never is actually certified? Okay, hang on. Now, I've got the full thing here, and I'll probably come back to it. I'll let you stop and read it, but let me get on to the next point I've got to make. Is the internal revolution about to start? A lot of people are saying so, and here's why. Now, this was sent to me in an email this morning. It says, but a high-ranking Democrat congressman recently revealed a plan to disqualify Trump before he gets back to the White House. So, this is answering the question, is the internal revolution about to start? He didn't get much media attention, especially considering how explosive his statements were, but he said, and I quote, it will be up to us, Democrats in Congress, to tell the rampaging Trump mobs that he's disqualified. What? We will need bodyguards for everyone in Civil War conditions. Did you catch the last part? A sitting U.S. congressman just admitted in public that they would rather trigger a civil war or internal revolution than let Trump become president again. It goes on to say the time between now and the inauguration could be the most dangerous period in U.S. history. Okay, so they're supposed to certify the election January the 6th. That's, well, by the time you're watching this, 3 days away. And sad to say, he's not the only one saying that. Matter of fact, I got two more sources here, and I don't think I need to read all of this, but the headline says Democrats may refuse to certify the Trump election. The next article says they'll object to a Trump victory. The Democratic members of the Congress who are most critical of former President Donald Trump's refusal to concede the 2020 presidential election are already laying the groundwork to oppose the certification of a Trump victory just weeks before Election Day. Okay, now, again, this is back October 11th, but the point is, the Democrats do have a plan to not certify the election. Okay, now hang on. So let's try to picture that. What would that look like? And what would happen? Okay, so January 6th hits, and it says here, Axios Raskin refused to commit to supporting the certification of the presidential election when Congress meets January 6, 2025 to count the electoral votes if Trump is the winner. So let's say January 6 rolls around and the Dems do exactly what they're saying. They say, we refuse to certify the election. Yeah, we know Donald Trump got more votes, but we're not going to make him president. We're simply not going to do it. Then what happens? Well, maybe that's when the massive arrests start. Well, wait a minute. Would that put him in inaugurated? Well, maybe it wouldn't. Maybe that's what starts the internal revolution. Now, that's the question I want to get to today. That's the big one. So could we see the internal revolution spoken of 40 years ago, August 3rd, 1984, to Dimitri Duduman, now 2024, made 40 years later? Could we see the internal revolution start? Well, I'm not going to say we can't, but I don't think so, and I'm going to show you why, and I'm going to back up and go back to something else here in just a second. Here's why I say. April 15, 2002, now a lot of this is not exactly related to it, but it's still good to know it. Leslie was told in a dream that Arafat would go into the hospital and die there. But, at the time, he was not allowed outside of his compound. So to put that out, we were on radio and TV then. So to put that out, that's a very big risk. Nevertheless, about 2 years later, 11/11/04, 3:30 a.m., he died in the hospital just as she was told. Now, the way these prophecies work is you don't get one part that's correct, one part that's wrong. It's either all right or it's all wrong. So in that, she got the first of these 6 points correct. That happened. That means the rest of it's going to happen too. Now, let me tie this together. And our question we're trying to answer is the internal revolution going to start April the 6th? Okay, that's big. That's big stuff. Israel will give the Palestinians a state, she was told. The Palestinian state would be a temporary measure to allow the Israelis time to strengthen their military. And where do you get the money to strengthen the military? Then oil will be discovered in Israel. The oils will make the Jews willing to fight for the land, and I'll add the money to strengthen the military. Then Israel and America would go against most of the rest of the Arab world. That was 2002. Then 2006, 4 years later, she heard the audible voice of God give her these newspaper headlines. Now, the first one she heard was, Israel refuses help to America. But I don't think that's the correct order, and I'll tell you, I don't know for certain exactly what the correct order is, so this might not be the correct order, but this is the best guess I have. It's a guess, okay? Omar ushers in Palestinian state. Catastrophe hits America. One of America's greatest times of need. Israel refuses help to America. Israel is attacked. America sends troops. Chaos reigns as Americans protest help to Israel. Now here's what I'm getting to. Then she heard my voice, quoting Dimitri Duduman, saying the fall of America will start with an internal revolution in America, started by the communists. So our question today is, come January 6th, are the Dems going to refuse to certify the election? And then is Trump going to call the military to start an internal revolution to force them to put him into office? I don't think so. I think the most is going to happen is probably the massive arrests will start. My guess is as soon as he lifts his hand off that Bible, or maybe there's some other official act even more official than that I don't know of, but as soon as he is officially handed the scepter or the gavel or the authority, there, from that moment on, any time after that, we could start seeing massive arrests. And if the Dems refuse to certify the election, that's probably a good reason for the massive arrests to start. But, here's my point today. Based upon what you're looking at right there, then we are not, I'll say it again, we are not about to see the internal revolution. Not until we see those other 5 headlines. Now, maybe they get changed around a little bit, but I think the whole point of it was to tell Leslie, to tell Stan, to tell Prophecy Club, to tell you when the Eternal Revolution starts. In other words, don't look for it January 2025. It's not coming. Now, it may be coming, let's say the Omer ushers in. Omer is the counting of the Omer, which we believe. We don't know that for certain, but we think that's correct. The counting of the Omer, which is the 49 days between first fruits and Pentecost, and in 2025, those days are April 13 to June 1. So, possibly, we could see Omer ushers in Palestinian state sometime before June 1 this year. Then, catastrophe hits, America's greatest times, the New Madrid fault that Shane Warren was shown hits. And so, by the end of the year, internal revolution, very possible. I want to think that the fall of America, though, is not until about 4 months before Armageddon. I really believe that's accurate. Now, I said I wanted to back up and show you something. This page, I'm running out of time here. This page tells you there's a change in the finances. He got $20 out of his ATM, put it back in, and now the charge jumped from $1 to $42 to get money out of an ATM. That tells me there's a change in our finances. Shane Warren, Terry Bennett, and some other guys. I've seen that we're going to get a new financial system. Then the next thing he saw is massive arrests. And that massive arrest is associated with Donald Trump assuming control. Why didn't it say associated with his inauguration? So to me, maybe the Dems are going to come out and refuse to certify the election. So consequently, we never get to the inauguration. All of a sudden, Trump says, okay, go get them, boys. And they pull out the Marines, and the massive arrests start. And you remember Henry Gruver was shown that Trump is back, but he returns as a king. What's that mean? Well, what was it, 1865 or something like that? The Molochs took over America and changed it from being a upper-lower United States of America to an all-capital United States of America and put their man in charge of it. And we have not been an official republic since then. And it gets into a lot of complicated things that, frankly, I'm not good enough to talk on. I'm not up on all the skinny on that. But my understanding is that they will be coming out with a new republic, a new flag, and could it be that Trump will be anointed king, not president? Well, wait a minute, Stan. It just says here he's assuming control as the new president, and some others say president. But if I had to choose between them or Henry Gruver, I'll go with Henry Gruver. I mean, this brother is my favorite speaker. Likewise with Leslie. I think he heard, he's gone to be with the Lord now, heard from God as accurate as I've ever seen outside of the Bible and, of course, Dimitri. In other words, are we about to see, here's the point, are we about to see an internal revolution? I don't think so. We about to see massive arrests? I can't say for certain. Probably. Will the massive arrests come? I think I can say that for certain. I heard the audible words of God, massive arrests, just like I heard medical. Speaking of medical, I cannot stress how serious it is that you have medical supplies. I mean, right after I hooked up with refuge-medical.com, right after we hooked up with them, which, by the way, if you use the promo code PROPHECY, it'll get you a 5% discount. But I went on there and I ordered, at least order the burn bucket, because that's what nuclear is. Yes, it's radiation, but more than radiation, it's burns. People get burned. I mean, they incinerate into ashes within a millisecond. Also, I'd recommend you go to prophecyclub.com, get yourself some potassium iodide pills. Very simple. It's a $20 a bottle will save a life. So would you save a life, perhaps your own or your children or your family or even your neighbors? $20 to save a life? Go get you some. One is you need one bottle per person per exposure, and I'll tell you what. I'll have them put on me explaining more in detail here. I'd recommend you get potassium iodide at prophecyclub.com. When a nuclear device is detonated, the wind blows the dust, and it's like fine dust, it's like powder, and it settles on everything. You breathe, eat, or absorb radioactive iodine, you pretty much can't avoid it, which kills your thyroid, killing you. But a simple fix is to simply take potassium iodide pills, which then floods your thyroid with good iodine, keeping the radioactive iodine out. You need one bottle per person per exposure for everyone from infant to adult, available 10 bottles for a gift of $150, which is what I recommend, or $20 a bottle at prophecyclub.com. Shelf life 5 to 8 years, potentially more if you refrigerate it, or even more if you freeze it. Potassium iodide pills, prophecyclub.com. Right now we have them in stock, but so many people are ordering them, you may have to wait a while to get them. As you recall, this past Saturday, November the 9th, the Lord spoke to me 2 words screaming at me loud like a trumpet. Medical, medical. I take that to mean that not only myself, but also those that follow Prophecy Club, in addition to all of the other preparations we've made, we need to start making medical preparations. And I put that out, and I was deluged with emails sending me to this place. This is the place that all of you seem to like when it comes to medical supplies. So I called them, hooked up, and I've arranged to get you a 5% discount when you use the promo code PROPHECY. Promo code PROPHECY, 5% discount, and it's refugemedical.com. refugemedical.com. And as you can see, they have all kinds of, here's one of the main things you need to get. It's called a burn bucket. This tells you all about it. They also have a business bundle, a home bundle. I think everybody ought to have at least a home bundle. They also have vehicle bundles, church bundles. So they already put this stuff together, and this is not foreign-made stuff. This is all American-made, and it's by a Christian company. And you go to refugemedical.com. refugemedical.com. From EMPShield.com. EMPShield.com. And they have videos up there. It takes about 10 minutes to put on. It's not complicated at all. And if you use the word prophecy, promo code prophecy, you get a $50 discount, and it helps your Prophecy Club.